Welcome to today's Explainer. Have you ever actually stopped to think about the sheer, just unimaginable scale of information flowing through the world right at this exact second? Every single click, every video stream, every online purchase, it all feeds into these massive, incredibly complex big data systems that basically run modern organizations. Today, we're unpacking the evolution and the management of those big data systems. We're going to bridge the gap between the history of massive data architecture and its highly targeted real-world application. This is going to give you the exact insights you need to understand how data is truly leveraged out there today. Okay, let's dive into this. To really establish our foundation, we need a brief introduction of big data. It might sound like a simple, everyday buzzword at this point, but big data is fundamentally defined by three key pillars: volume, velocity, and variety. Volume is exactly what it sounds like, the staggering, mind-boggling amount of data generated every single millisecond. Velocity is the unprecedented speed at which this data moves, and more importantly, the speed at which it has to be processed. And variety? Well, that refers to the messy mix of data types we deal with now, from neatly structured financial numbers to totally unstructured social media posts and massive video files. Understanding these three V's is the absolute perfect entry point for grasping how complex systems manage our entire digital world. To make our learning super efficient today, here's our roadmap. We've got three main sections. Section 1 is our module overview. Section 2 will cover the evolution of data, and we'll wrap up with Section 3, mastering subscriber databases.
Let's jump right into Section 1, our module overview. I love how this source breaks down a totally intimidating subject into a crystal clear two-part learning objective. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the logical progression of the module. Grasping modern data science requires this absolutely crucial two-step conceptual link. First, step 1, you have to learn the evolution of big data. You really need to understand the historical architecture, right? How we moved from those isolated, dusty servers to massive, decentralized cloud networks. But here's the kicker. That architectural knowledge is practically useless if it just stays abstract. So it has to feed directly into step 2, the ability to grow and manage a subscriber database. The architecture literally dictates the capability. You simply cannot build a highly responsive, personalized subscriber platform today if you don't understand the underlying evolved data plumbing that lets it process millions of inputs simultaneously. Let's slow down the pace just a bit as we move into Section 2, the evolution of data. This is really the what of our framework. According to the source, to truly utilize data, we absolutely must first understand this essential background. The big data evolution is essentially the foundational theory explaining how these systems developed into their current form. It's really the story of adapting to constant, just overwhelming scale. Decades ago, data was neat and tidy. It lived in rigid relational databases. Think of millions of neat little rows and columns. But as the internet absolutely exploded, and then later smartphones and the Internet of Things came along, well, those rigid tables just broke. We were suddenly flooded with unstructured data. Billions of emails, photos, sensor readings, weblogs, you name it. Traditional databases simply couldn't handle the sheer volume or the variety. This literally forced an evolution. Engineers had to develop distributed computing frameworks like Hadoop, which broke these massive jobs into smaller, manageable pieces and processed them across thousands of regular computers simultaneously. This eventually evolved into the modern data lakes and cloud-native architecture we see today, where basically infinite amounts of raw, unstructured data can be stored on the cheap and analyzed in real time. Understanding this transition from those rigid tables to fluid data lakes is absolutely vital for anyone working with modern tech infrastructure. All right, let's pick up the energy a bit as we shift from the theoretical past to the actionable present in Section 3, mastering subscriber databases. This is the how. So the crucial point is right here, growing and managing a subscriber database. This is the specific, practical outcome you are guaranteed to learn. This is where all of that colossal infrastructure we just talked about translates into actual real-world value. Listen, this isn't just about collecting email addresses in a static spreadsheet anymore. Today, managing a subscriber database means ingesting massive, continuous streams of behavioral data so you can segment your audience with literal pinpoint accuracy. It requires rigorous data hygiene. We're talking constantly deduplicating records, ensuring absolutely strict privacy compliance, and updating user preferences in real time. By leveraging the advanced architecture we just discussed, modern database managers can track exactly how a specific segment of users interacts with content on, say, a Tuesday morning, and then automatically deploy a highly personalized engagement campaign by Tuesday afternoon. It's this active, dynamic process of turning raw, sprawling data into a living, breathing, responsive community. And this brilliantly illustrates the dual nature of this module. When we contrast the theoretical side, the evolution of big data, with the practical side, growing and managing a subscriber database, we see the true power of this subject. Imagine a global streaming service for a second. The theoretical side, that evolved, distributed cloud architecture, is exactly what allows the company to ingest petabytes of viewing history, search queries, and even pause and rewind behavior from millions of users simultaneously, without the whole system just crashing. Then, the practical side is taking that massive data lake and running real-time analytics to manage those individual subscriber profiles. It generates the exact personalized content recommendations that keep every single person happily paying their monthly fee. The theory of big data architecture directly, and I mean directly, empowers the practical reality of hyper-targeted subscriber management. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. Are you ready to master your subscriber data, or will you be left behind in its evolution? These systems are only growing more complex by the day, and consumer expectations for highly personalized experiences, they are only getting higher. Mastering the foundational architecture of big data is truly the ultimate key to unlocking the future of audience connection. So think about how your own data is managed, and consider how you can leverage these rapidly evolving tools to build stronger, far more responsive systems.